If you've ever been surprised by an earnings report, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. It is time for another episode of Live Trading. Chipotle is out of the way. We are almost done with the first big earnings week. Time to figure out where the money is.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks, we are back for another episode of Live Trading. Hope that you all had a wonderful evening. Good morning. I'm going to welcome back my main man, 13. 13, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty wild day that we had yesterday, so let's see if we can make sense of this wilderness.
Wilderness. Okay, we will start with that. We're going to go ahead and start with the SPY. Here you go. So that wild day pulled us all the way back to the 50-day moving average. We actually did close beneath it on an exact value basis. So today really is going to be, what do we continue to move down here? Do we recapture this 50-day? This is going to be the main thing that I'm going to look for today on the SPY chart. Also worth noting here, we did trade up to 19 on the VIX in the pre-market. So VIX has actually been steadily creeping up. I want to see if that continues today soon. What do you have here on the SPY, 13? What levels or what are you actually looking for here?
Well, because of that big move we had yesterday, that actually took out multiple levels I had and put us into a consolidation channel that was created back in June, from about June 12th to, I guess this really ends more on July 1st or 2nd. But anyway, we're in this consolidation here. We did get a little bit of support from the 50-day SMA intraday yesterday and then ended up closing beneath it. I think that with an outsized move like this, there'd be some recovery. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today, just a little bit of recovery. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this still ended up going lower. I think that we'll probably end up trading around this consolidation channel that I was mentioning, and that's going to be between 540 and 544. So I think we'll end up trading around there a little bit. Now, if we fall out of that, the downside target that I have for that is going to be the 5% pullback level off the all-time high, which is going to be at 536.90. So that's where I'd be looking for downside. There's a gap to fill, so it could happen pretty quick.
Yeah, it looks like that gap fills down here to about what, 537?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
and which is just 10%, 10 cents above the pullback level. So really interesting area there. That could definitely happen. If we start trading up and get back above the 50, well, then it's going to be the previous all-time high of 544.12 and that 545.18 level that I had mentioned previously yesterday. There's a little bit of a consolidation in there as well. So that's where I think that we could go if we go to the upside, and that's where I think we could go if we go to the downside. But today, I'm thinking it's going to be more of a sideways day.
Okay. You know, I don't know, call it a gut feeling. I don't really have any other data to kind of go with this. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade up a little bit and then just get hammered and end up closing on the lows or maybe even going lower. Wouldn't be surprised if they sucked a bunch of people in on that and then flushed them out on the backside of the move.
Totally possible.
Yeah. We'll see if that ends up happening here. No positions on for the SPY. I do, before we go over to some of the movers here, I do want to talk about Chipotle. This is one we've been looking at and talking about quite a bit here. I am definitely going to be watching this here today. I got a feeling that the market is a little bit weaker than it's showing here this morning. So I don't necessarily want to be early on any of these things, especially like Chipotle. Now, we've seen a really, really big move down here. We did have a pretty good report last night. It was a beat on the top and the bottom line. They announced a buyback. Stock is still coming in. I know your pain, Tom. We were watching this in the after hours yesterday, and right as the report came out, this thing was ripping, and I'm sure those call buyers were feeling pretty good, only to watch this completely round trip. Actually went negative in the after-hour session. So I kind of want to see where this heads here today. Good earnings, a decent report here, not being met with any type of upward movement. To me, that might signal that things are changing a little bit here. On the level that we're at here, I would really love to see this maybe chop around for a few days here around the 200-day. Maybe even lose it if we have like a kind of a weekday, maybe even lose it and try and then reclaim it several days later. That would really make me feel better about a long, because it kind of gives me the feeling that we're going through that bottoming process and we're going to flush out all of those people that are not willing to hold it. But we'll see. We'll see here on Chipotle. I don't want to be too early. I'd rather be a little bit later to a swing trade like this than too early and watch the thing get absolutely destroyed. So this is kind of what I'm looking at on Chipotle. Would love to know if any of you folks are trading it, or did any of you folks trade this for earnings? I'd love to hear about that. And then how you're going to trade it today. We could add on top of that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some of the movers, because there are some things moving along today, and we might be able to find some day trading opportunities out of them. First one here is going to be ticker PBM. This is Science. I almost said Essence, but that's not right. Science Biomedical here. We did have some news, I believe, here this morning, unless I'm mixing this up with another one. No, okay, so yesterday after hours, shares are trading higher after the company announced the export of nature-derived psilocybin to Australia, and said a trial is projected to be initiated shortly following the receipt of drug products by trial sites. So looks like you're getting a psychedelic. Some news here on a psychedelic company. I can't remember, for you folks that have traded some of these before, was this a big name? I never really kind of got into the psychedelic names. I was sticking more to the pot names. But I know some of you were.
I remember MindMed being the big.
Yeah, me too. MindMed, MNMD. I think there was another one in there. Anyway, not the sector that I've really kind of traded about or a lot in, but that's what's going on here. This stock was a penny stock, now in dollar territory. Be careful with this one. We'll see if it can end up getting some strength, moving above the VWAP, and then taking out this double top that we made in the extended sessions. That's right up around 140. Let's see if it can get that down. What do you have here on PBM today, 13?
Well, this isn't really one I covered, because when I was looking at these movers, this was just getting into dollar territory. So this really wasn't on my radar. I was focused on a few others, but I can tell you that this one has a 4.7 million share float. Looks like there's a bit of short interest here with a small amount of days to cover. So I don't really think that's anything special. 5% short interest, 1.6 days to cover. And then there's no reverse splits or anything like that. So with this one, trade it if you like. I don't have any levels on this or anything. This wasn't one I was covering, but it seems like the news is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at where this is at, and given the news catalyst it had, the only really long side trade I can see here is maybe a move through this 111 on volume, and then up to those after hours and pre-market highs. I can't tell you if it's going to do that, but that's kind of what I'd be looking at here. I think, though, 13, we're actually going to have some better targets here today. So let's keep moving along. Next one here is going to be POAI. This is Predictive Oncology. You can see this has made several impulse moves to the upside on volume, much higher than average volume. Pullbacks have been met with more buyers, so we'll see if this story changes here. If we go over to the news here, Predictive Oncology enters into biomarker discovery market after successful retrospective ovarian cancer study yields compelling results. Little bit of generalities in there, but overall pretty positive PR here. 13 stocks up 97% here, 4 million float. What's your plan?
Well, this is a one that we've traded before. It looks like back in May is when this may have run where we traded it. And, aside from having AI in their ticker, this actually company uses AI to identify cancers. So it's like a screener, a bit of a cancer screener stock. And they use AI to help identify that. So this is kind of an emerging theme we've talked about in Happy Hour, where we're seeing some of these biotechs that are using AI to identify diseases. So this could be really interesting going forward. But for day trading today, this actually has 4 million shares in the float. They did a 1-for-20 reverse split on April 24th. And as far as levels go, for this one, we are currently above the VWAP, and I think 250 is next, followed by 275.
Okay.
See if we get up there.
So some pretty good levels there. This one, I think, be careful in terms of holding this one overnight. This is definitely one that can do an offering.
Yeah, don't hold any of things that we're day trading.
I thought you were like, no, it's going to be fine. I was like, okay. They've got about $5 million of cash sitting around. They burn $3 million a quarter. So at some point, this company is going to need to figure out how to get more money. I think an offering is probably going to be on the table here. But for the purposes of today, mind your technicals. We'll see if we can get a trade here. Volume looks really good here in the pre-market on this. So if this continues at all into the regular session, giddy up. We might be in good shape.
That's what we want.
All right. I think Meera's become an ex-girlfriend. Did you break up? Is that what happened here?
She called.
She what?
She called.
She called again. Okay, so Meera, this has actually been a kind of a big mover for us here this week. I know we had the Halt Fest. That was on Monday. Yeah, just a massive Halt Fest day. We had the backside of the move. Interestingly enough, we did really kind of hold in a fairly tight range over the course of the rest of this session and then all of yesterday. Today, however, we're popping. So the $64,000 question, do we get another big run here on Meera? Levels that I'd be watching here, about 315, maybe up to 357. And if we get the juice, yeah, of course you want to watch that high up near 380. 13, what are we doing here with good old Meera?
Well, they had announced that they had a discovery of, or a positive discovery of ketamine 2 selective NMDA binding mechanism of action. I think this is just a little bit extra information based on what they've already been releasing. So I would be more on the side of we're not going to see as many fireworks as we've had previously. The stock on that really wild day where it had all those halts got up to 546. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say we probably won't get that high today. I just don't think the data is as strong as it now as it was when it first came out. And this to me, I think this is just a little bit of an add-on to the data they've already let out. So with that in mind, as far as levels go, I'd say 350s probably next to the upside, followed by the pre-market high at 377. So we'll be looking for those. After that, then it'll probably be the pre-market high a couple or 2 days ago at 429.
Yeah, a sound plan there. That all seems reasonable to me. We'll watch Meera though, just because we saw how this kind of took off last time. Definitely going to keep it on watch. But 13, I think you're exactly right, and I don't think it's going to get as crazy as it did that first time around. Okay, good stuff. Let's keep rolling here. We've got ticker Bally. This is BALY. This is Bally's Corporation. Looks like merger agreement. So I actually didn't have this one earlier. Looks like this is a merger agreement. So maybe no trade here. Buying the outstanding shares for $18.25. Stock is currently at $16.55. So okay, there's some news, merger and acquisition. Didn't have that one on my radar there, but that's what's going on with Bally. You don't have anything you want to add to Bally here, do you?
Oh no,
Okay.
I thought Bally was like, is that the Total Fitness place? But I don't know about it's a casino corporation. Okay, no,
Yeah.
I don't have anything on this.
They also have a sports network, right? An entertainment company with growing omni-channel presence. This is actually what the sports are on in Detroit, which is how I know about them. Not a local Chicago thing here, but this is definitely in Detroit. So there you go. Entertainment company with a growing omni-channel presence. Looks like they're getting rolled up here.
Well, if you're already in it, congratulations.
Yeah, nice little move, up 22% here. Go ahead and book those gains. All right. Next here, another one that I wanted to take a look at just because of the round trip move that it made here today. BLMZ. This is Bloomz. Popped pretty big up to 550, pretty much almost doubled. Actually, it did double, excuse me, from where it was at. Came all the way back in here on Bloomz. I don't really see anything going on here. This is what a recent IPO.
Yep.
So I don't know necessarily what's going on here. We have another IPO today, actually. Line, I believe, is going to be the ticker for Lineage. Let me see. Let me just make sure I'm getting that right. Yes, Line, ticker LINE is going to be Lineage. We're expecting that IPO here today. So I don't know. What do you think here on BLMZ?
Well, with this one, I'm only bringing this one up because the recent IPO. I know some folks like to trade IPOs or recent IPOs. It's got a 5.71 million share float, and the IPO is priced at 340 a share, and we're trading beneath that. So I guess the thought was that because of how much it sold off yesterday, that there might be some folks out there that would be interested in a bounce play, or maybe try to recapture some of the reversal to the upside for a short profit. But I don't think that there's, I don't know what to make of this, as I don't trade IPOs, but I wanted to at least bring it out there in case there were some folks that do like trading this. This is going to be on deck for you today.
Okay. The other left here in the scanner, ASNS, looks like this popped in the after hours yesterday and came all the way back in. Looks like we had majority stake taken here. You got anything on ASNS? It's pretty much round tripped after that piece of after hours news.
Yes. So I saw the item majority stake in Quality Industrial Corp.
Yeah.
I didn't see a whole lot of information on that just from the on the news feed. So I just said, okay, well, there's the headline. It's got a 4.77 million share float. It does have a 15.61 short interest, but only one day to cover. So not really the type of short squeeze candidate we're looking for. Maybe this turns around after we open. Maybe it's just already had its day and it's done. So just something to keep on the radar in case it turns around. We've seen some of them like that do this before. But I think POAI and MIRA probably be better ones to trade today.
Yeah, in complete agreement with you on that. Good stuff. Next here is going to be Cmax. The only reason that I'm bringing this up is because this particular stock has seemed to come up during the regular session via the scanner here. It is popping a little bit here in the pre-market, although again, it's popped and dropped and really kind of sitting right where it's at. Doesn't really have any fresh news here, but worth noting that this is getting a little bit of action here in the pre-market. So maybe keep it on your watch list for the regular session here today.
And the one thing I see with this one is that not yesterday, but the day before, the pre-market high was right about where it was in this pre-market high today. So if you look at what happened that day, it ended up selling off. We could see a repeat of that. So just keep that in mind. It's already beneath its VWAP. It's already looking weak. It just needs to lose some moving averages and some levels, and it's going to be down where it was on Tuesday.
And and if it does kind of sell off like that, maybe you get another opportunity to kind of add on weakness and see what happens. So keep that on your radar there, Cmax. Okay, let's go back over to the regular chart tool. That's pretty much it for the movers. We will talk about some of the stocks that you folks are looking at. I guess we'll just go ahead and start with Lumen. Call it recency bias here. Let me bring up that chart, ticker LUMN. It's going to be another one of those smaller stocks here. Let me actually get a better looking chart here. So we did pop yesterday. Gave maybe a little bit of a trade, but we've kind of come back in here. Who asked about this? Lumen looks like a good short candidate to me. Okay, so Robert, you're looking to short Lumen. I guess my only follow-up there is why are you shorting a $1.47 stock?
It's already heavily shorted. I mean, yeah. So
here is your short interest. Okay, I think you're talking maybe about the technical setup here, and maybe this does kind of like lose its 200-day and really sell off, but I just think that there might be better targets here. Your max profit on the short there's $1.47 at that point.
If you like short and penny stocks, it's the one for you.
Lumen will pop when I look like Gandalf the Grey. I'll take a Lord of the Rings reference any time of the day, that is for sure. So we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Okay, let's take a look at some other stocks here. One of the other ones that reported earnings yesterday is going to be Vktx, and this is one that we've looked at quite a bit here. So we had obviously that huge move, and we had kind of a downtrend as we really fell out of the island, but a decent report here yesterday. Stocks up 15% here. Viking therapeutics shares are trading higher after the announced the advancement. VK 2735 to phase 3 also reported earnings beat on the top and the bottom line. So VKTX, I know we've kind of gone back and forth on this one quite a bit. Anyone trading this one? 13, you got any thoughts here on VKTX? This is going to be the love handles trade, the GLP-1 angle.
Right. So the advancement to phase 3 means that they're going to be spending a lot of cash, which Fortunately, they do have a good amount of. It looks like at the current burn rate that they've got and the cash that they're currently holding, they could have about 8 quarters of runway. So it doesn't look like they're going to need to raise money at any time soon. The other thing that I was looking at with this is that this is heavily shorted. This is a short squeeze candidate. It's got 18.46% of the float shorted, and it has 5.75 days to cover. So that's what we want to see. This could end up squeezing pretty well this morning. We'll have to see if that's going to happen. And I'm not going to make any guarantees on this, but this all the setups are there for it to squeeze. So we'll see if this is going to do what I think it might do, because it's also been getting some price target raises as well. I think H.C. Wainwright company just reiterated buy, maintain $90 on it. So that could help give it a lift. I'm not saying it's going to go to 90 today, but I'm hoping and looking for, and I hope it's not a strategy, I'm looking for a squeeze here, because I might consider trading this if it starts to look like that.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about Wainwright and kind of take those with a grain of salt, but it is also worth noting Morgan Stanley, who we never say that about, has a $105 price target on this, so they must at least be in the area there. Yeah. We've actually traded this one, or at least I have, and I'm not sure if you have. I've traded this, both the stock and the options. This thing really moves, so we do find a really good setup here, probably one we want to take advantage of. Good stuff there. Lynn also mentioning Vktx killing Lilly. So if we take a look at that real quick, here's going to be your daily chart on Lilly. This is actually at a spot here. We're about to lose, or it looks like we're about to lose, that 50-day moving average. I know that there are a number of people that think this is a really good short opportunity, because look where it's come from. I mean, it's made a huge move here. Even on the daily chart, we're still 130 points above the 200-day moving average. I mean, that's some pretty good extension. That actually looks a little bit different when you start to look at the weekly and the monthly. You can see how much the stock can actually pull back. One of the things driving it higher here is this is a stock that's thought, hey, this could potentially split. And a lot of those other big stocks that have split actually ran into the split. So we'll see if we end up getting that there. But it does look like Eli Lilly lower here. Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk shares trading lower after competitor Viking announced the advancement of its obesity candidate. So these look to be kind of a back and forth here. Lynn, this was a really good mention. Would love to hear again how any of you folks are trading the GLP-1 stocks.
This one looks like it's at least coming into 800. I don't like the way that this current formation on the chart is. This is resolving a bit of a bear flag right now. I think the price is currently trading underneath the 50-day SMA. Yeah. So it's already beneath that. I think that there's going to be some upside pressure on us to get back over that 50-day SMA, and it might, but we're going to be wanting to see a close above that. So that's what I'd be looking for today with LLY. But I think the way this chart setup looks, I think that 800 might be coming up at some point.
Okay. I'll say this, short or no short, this stock comes into the 200-day, I'd be looking to add this. Easy Mike. Long VKTX, short Lilly, making it as easy as possible for us to understand there. 9/11 Museum Workshop, interesting handle. You want to go ahead and take a look at SMMT? You can go ahead and do that. Can't remember, was this one part of the GLP-1? Discovery, development, commercialization, novel antibiotics for serious infections. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think this has a GLP-1 angle. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. However, the daily chart looks pretty juicy here, right? We had that huge pop, a little bit of a regression back to the mean, some consolidation, and now we're moving up towards those highs. Be interesting to see if we can break this one out or if we find some resistance there. RSI a little hot here, nearing overbought territory, but if this consolidates at all, look for this to kind of coil and then build up some pressure to maybe pop towards the highs. You got anything on Summit?
1125 is the high that was put in on May 30th, and it looks like it's going to have a date with that pretty soon. As you mentioned with the RSI, it's getting up there, but it's not so high up that there's not enough. There's no more room for it to extend further. I think this can definitely extend up to 12. We'll have to see if that's what's going to happen. But this formation, this looks good. I think, in my opinion, I think this could end up breaking out of that 1125 high.
Okay. Cool. Good looking formation there on the daily chart. We'll see what happens. Good morning, Born. By the way, Berlin, are you interested still in the fantasy football that we've been doing for happy hour? Let me know. I'm going to be reactivating that league here pretty soon. Okay. What else? I think there was one more that I am drawing a huge blank on. It was SMCI. It was SMCI. Lion Atlas had mentioned that. There were a couple other people. We always kind of look at some of these tech names here as it is. Here is SMCI. And as you can see, it looks like we are rolling over towards that 200-day. I'll be honest, folks. I have no problem being more and more patient here on SMCI and some of these other really kind of popular names until we get down to this level. So I got no problem waiting this out. We're 50 points away from that 200-day. This is the thing that I'm kind of looking for on this. What do you got, 13?
Well, I see that SMCI put in a low on April 22nd of 671, and we're actually headed towards that low. So I think that that's where we're going to end up heading towards, which is also close to the 200-day SMA. So if you're looking for a visit of the 200-day SMA in SMCI, I think you're going to get it. Whether or not it bounces, I'm not going to speak on that because I think it could. It also could potentially fall through. The RSI is really low, so getting down to the 200-day SMA means that there is a good potential that the price could reverse, being that it would be oversold at that point. So there's something that you could look forward to and draw on with this. 671 should be the breakdown area to the 200, and I would just say good luck if you're going to trade this at the 200-day SMA, because I'm not 100% sure what happens, but it looks like it'd be a good bounce spot.
Yeah, honestly, with this area, this 671 area that you just flagged there, 13, I wouldn't be terribly shocked if we kind of just broke through that, overshot it, and then it ended up kind of settling right near the 200-day. So really good stuff there. We'll see if we end up getting that. Real quick here, Glenn, we got you. You're in. No problem. Thank you for confirming there. God, Glenn, man, he just seems to win all the time. Someone's got to beat Glenn. Love you, but someone's got to beat you this year. Okay, what else do you folks want to take a look at? Hey, Mark, it has been a long time. Hope you are well, dude. Hope you are well. We're glad to have you back. Good to see you here this morning. Is Serve doing something here? I know that's been a recent kind of a huge move for us. Is popping a little bit here. Maybe this can get the juice if it gets over 9. Okay, we're about to open here. Let me prepare for the open. Stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool, as always. So if you need help getting above the 25K day trading threshold or simply need some more dry powder, check them out. Their trading competition, not options, just stock, starts on Monday. If you want to get down on that, go over there and check it out. Win it for us. Win it for our group. All right, here we go.
Open. And POAI already hit those 2 levels that I had talked about. So, well, it just barely hit the 275, and it looks like it's about to do that right now, and just a penny short.
Okay.
So let's see what happens with POAI. It looks like it wants to push higher, and beyond 275, I have we'll call it 345 and then 375. So we'll see if that can get through there at that 275 level, which it's currently getting resistance at. ASNS, still beneath VWAP, BLMZ, same thing, and Meera sideways.
Okay. I'm going to keep POAI up here. 248's that low. They brought in that bid. See how quickly this just gets deleted if they go down to it.
All right, so Meera
and through. Here we go. So this, sorry, 13. This is a pull I wanted to see here on POAI. We'll see where this sets up for a long. Let me know what you guys think here on Meera potential long areas.
Meera trying to go for 377. It's the pre-market high. Good stuff.
I'm not in this one. Did you grab this off that move away?
As it started accelerating, I did.
So nice.
And I have okay, I'm out.
Okay, nice job selling into strength. We'll take that. POAI still thinking that this is going to have to bottom somewhere. Where's the bottom, folks? Let's find it.
Oh, got out by the skin of my teeth. Now look at Meera. Wow.
Look at that pull. So 13. Take gains when you have them, huh?
Yeah. It was slowing down as soon as it got up towards 377, and I was raising my stop, and I didn't even get the words out before I got stopped out. And now this. Whew.
Stay safe out there, folks.
Expect more of this today. Expect more of this today. This is the kind of tape that we're in right now, where these trades are not going to work out like you think. So, be careful.
Real quick here, we didn't cover this one, but I want to address this comment because this is something that we've discussed a lot in happy hour. Amanda, I guess they like the news on now. This was earnings, wasn't this? Let me check real quick here. Let me just pull this up and make sure. Yeah. Yes, this was earnings yesterday. The CEO here, just a gigantic promoter, loves to just kind of overhype things. So I'm actually not surprised that with a good print, you're actually seeing this reaction here today in now. So traded up yesterday when we actually got the number. Next move here happening today. This actually looks like this is going to break above a recent high. It did actually print above that recent high. We'll see if it holds there at 8. When has it got this at about 8? Sorry, it's moving around on me. 807 looks to be that level there. So ServiceNow, we've seen this before. A lot of it has to do. I did see that the CEO was on CNBC this morning, but I had it muted, so I have no idea what he was talking about. But again, seen this before. Seen these types of moves here before. Let me bring up POAI.
Cmax is through its VWAP, and it's going for its 358. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm too late for this one, unfortunately.
538 high in pre-market is what it's headed towards. It's starting to slow down there. So this is kind of getting a little bit similar to what I just experienced with Meera. If we can get enough volume here, we can push through $5 and get up to 538.
Let's see if it breaks this resistance here at 5. It's taking it.
And
little bit of a pull there. Didn't really run after that upside break.
Yep.
Remember what Tuna has told us, don't buy the strength, buy the weakness. Here we go on POAI. Let's see if we come into this VWAP here at 210. I'll take a stab there if we do that, especially if we hold it.
With Meera, if this doesn't get some support at 2, right about here, or the 265, if it breaks through both those levels, then I'm just thinking this is done, and we should just not even worry about it because the news isn't really fresh. It's just a bit of add-on news to it that's already run on.
POAI might be bouncing here. Did not come all the way back to its VWAP. I'm going to be late on that. Big bid brought in here at 250 POAI, and it's real because they're taking it and then deleted it. And here comes the pull. My God, am I glad I didn't try that. Yep. Right down here to the VWAP. I want to try some.
And they're trying to push it down even further, trying to take it under 2, but a bid came in.
I took some here. High risk. We'll see if it bounces from here on that flush. Really tried to catch a knife here. If it breaks 2 to the downside, I actually think it could flush again. I'll probably just wait that out. Maybe even try buying the flush again here. Let's see. POAI. How many times am I going to screw this ticker up, 13?
I don't know, but BLMZ is the IPO one. That's trying to push above its VWAP right now.
Okay. I want to see if I can get a little bit more juice here on a bounce for POAI. Come on. You want to bounce back up. Go take that 230 level out.
Where are you looking to exit?
I'd really like this to come back up to that range here. I guess 229 was the actual level. I just want to see this pop above 230 for a potential bounce. Nope. I'm actually going to stop here because I think that it's going to roll through there we go. And now let's see if it takes 2 out. I think there's going to be a bounce here. There's 2, and there's the flush. Boy, am I glad I did that. So I do think there's going to be a bounce here, but I didn't get the one that I had initially hoped for right there. Bummer.
Cmax is halted. And BLMZ is through its VWAP and pushing up into the consolidation and
Cmax halted to the downside. Oh, I'm sorry, 13. I didn't even realize that totally reversed.
Yeah.
And halted to the downside. Holy cow. So
That's
how
two
many
now.
stocks is that we've seen that on now this morning?
Two. That's the
Okay,
second
let's
one
see if
that's done that.
BLMZ does the same thing as it pushes through its VWAP right here.
Granted, Meera didn't halt, but it did the same thing where it popped
Yeah.
out of the open and then just took everybody out with a rug pull.
I mean, I would just be careful with the profit that you have. If you have any, just take it. Yeah.
BLMZ being the best one so far out of those that we talked about, but it's having a hard time getting through this pre-market consolidation here. So
AC 2000, appreciate you. Looking for a PO, you meant AI, POAI to bottom around 170 here. It is struggling to even get back above its VWAP. We are getting some lower wicks. Oh, sorry, here I'm still watching BLMZ. Is this coming back in? Let me zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, that pulled off of its recent highs too. Here is POAI again. Okay, so did it take that? Let's see. Let me zoom in here one more time. Yeah, see, it's got these bottom wicks here right beneath the VWAP, but it really can't get above it. I think Crow, sorry, I accidentally clicked on your
looks like Meera's trying to come back up to VWAP.
Might try some of this again here.
Looks weak. And POAI trying to get, it's right at the near the VWAP, trying to
That's
get
what I'm
back.
saying. Like, I want to try this here. But I really don't want to get flushed down to the lows. And these bids that they've brought in beneath it, all of the ones that I've seen like flash on there have just been deleted. They sold right into it. There was just no trouble at all.
An AI day, JTAI, penny stock. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, go ahead. And then IDAI would be another penny stock that we've talked about in the AI field.
What is JTAI about? Sale of jet cards. I haven't heard about those. Okay, so POAI still trying to push above VWAP, and it looks like it's kind of succeeding.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying here, but again, I'm thinking we might see another rug pull here at 13. There's another deleted bid that looked like it was propping it up.
Hey, no problem, Jay Harris. And
yeah, I was gonna say Jay Harris, no problem.
BTC.
Glad we're banking. What I spoke over you. Sorry.
Max, Easy Max saying BTC conference today. He's watching BTC. So what's Bitcoin doing? Look
at VKTX. Let's go. Let's go. How did those? I bet those options were smoking. That would have been something to play yesterday. Is VKTX overnight would have been, man, the options chain. Well, that's a weekly chain. Great.
I'd be looking for 64 at least on VKTX.
Yeah, it looks like they're worse. Yeah. Applied volatility 100% on those options. It's not even terrible. Okay. VKTX still curling here, by the way. Chipotle. Oh my God, look at this. Chipotle continuing to go lower. 13. What level did you have? Mid 40s, did you say?
Mid 40s would look better. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we're not far. We're not far here. 49.87. This actually looks like it wants to test lower as well.
All right, looks like POAI is trying to recover. It has a bit of a wall at 220. It's trying to get chewed through right now.
Okay, we'll take some of it right here. We'll add if it drops a little bit.
This needs a little bit more, and it could...
Needs to take out this wall here at 220. It's still eating it.
I think 250 is probably where it might end up topping out at if it doesn't top out sooner. But that's where I'd be looking.
Whoa. They brought in an offer that instantly got bought. That could be good here.
Yeah.
See if we get above that 230. Let's juice above that 230 and go to 250. That'd be ideal here. They're just going to drive it down again. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to be quick. Even if it means I miss something, I don't care. I'm not going to sit around for a big pull. I've already seen a couple of them on some of these stocks.
This is a stop raise. Yeah. You just got to keep raising that until.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll keep trying stuff, but I'm not going to sit around and get smoked on something. Told you the CMZ I went to was nasty and run badly. You know what's funny about that, Born, is that you're not the only person that said that. Lynn and Randy have recently said the same thing. Speaking of Lynn and Randy, Tesla here really moving off the 217 level, 5 points higher there.
Okay, POAI pushing a little bit higher. Let's go. Do stuff.
Okay, so I got shaken. I don't even really care. I don't even really care, honestly. I'm not trying to get smoked by one of these pieces of junk.
Because that's what they are. All right, almost a 250, and right up.
This is the exact move that I was waiting for too. Just shaken out of it.
And it's taking out 252. It's having some trouble. And I bet it comes back in a little bit now. Yeah,
I'm going to keep trying to buy weakness instead of moves up, because that's going to be the one. Here's your pullback here. Let's see where it pulls all the way back to.
All right, so that was, well, at least we knew what it was going to do.
Here's the pull. Here it is.
All right, well, I mean, it doesn't matter if we got gains or not. We were talking about where it was going to go and what it was going to do. And
it did exactly what we were talking about. That's the key thing here. It did, but my timing there, especially on that move up, it did exactly what I was looking for, and I wasn't in it because I got shaken right before that. Yeah, Bob, that's how it goes. At least we didn't take a huge loss. Could be worse.
MLGO. This one.
I'm actually Serve going to the highs. Actually, Serve looks like it's about to take out its highs here. Who's still trading Serve? Which of you still trading Serve? Boom, Parker, way to go. So you play, Parker, way to go. You played this the way that I was trying to play it. You did it correctly. Nice. Let's go, dude. It's exactly what we were hoping for. Great job.
That's great. MLGO also with Smoke Tuna calling this out. This is really moving now.
Serve new highs that took out its pre-market high. You're right here on MLGO. Nice little volume pop there as well. Cmax getting mentioned here by Smoke Tuna right at the VWAP.
Yeah, this MLGO, it might slow down here a little bit, coming up to some resistance levels and some supply.
Cmax through its VWAP, going towards its intraday highs. Smoke Tuna, you are on it here today. Vktx continuing to pound highs as well. Chipotle might have stopped at least temporarily. Excuse me, the selling might have stopped at least temporarily.
I'm telling you, Vktx going to 64. The after hours high was 67.64, so 64 doesn't seem too unreasonable.
I have 63 here as a key level too. Can't remember where I drew that one, but that's where we're at.
Let's see. Well, here's the thing. 60, I guess 63 actually. That looks like a support turned resistance, and now since we're back above it, support again.
We're right there.
So yeah, if you draw a line at 63 and back out to a daily, you can see why you have that line there. It's a support turn resistance.
Support. So here I don't have it. I guess does that work if I do that? Let's see. Yeah, it does. So here are the levels that I have on that.
Yeah, so you can see how it was bouncing off of that previously, and then once it fell through, it had a hard time getting back above it. So support, turn resistance, and now that since we're back above it, turn support.
Yeah, let's see if we can build above that.
Yep. Cmax halted again. This time to the upside.
All right, let me flip back over to Cmax here.
ASNS has been the dog of the day. BLMZ, after a nice pop over VWAP, that came back in, and now it is getting closer to the open.
Serve might be slowing down after that pop through the intraday high there. 939, your high print there on Serve.
POAI may not be done, but I would be cautious.
We've seen several yanks already on this one. Levels are still the same.
And I'd be a little bit careful about when it gets back up to 250, because we could see another pull on that one.
SLRX, Crow, I know you're on this. It sounds like a lot of you folks were on this from yesterday, right? Or even the day before. SLRX. Great call here, Crow. Market Sniper, looks like you're trading this one too. Sorry, 13. Didn't mean to run you over there.
It's all right. That's funny that TDOC is moving, because I'm pretty sure Kathy Wood's ARC Fund just sold some of this yesterday.
Also pretty sure that TDOC is on on that list that we talked about stocks that are beaten down and have cash. Hang on, let me pull that up here real quick. High short interest, beaten down, and have cash. I believe TDOC fits the bill for that. Definitely beaten down. Horrible looking daily chart. Short interest here, 26.8%. Days to cover, 6.96. Meets that criteria too. Let's check the balance sheet here. Is that $1 billion? Is that right? Yeah. $1 billion on the balance sheet. They're cash flow positive. So TDOC here, I don't know. I mean, that's fits our criteria. Maybe this is bottomed, TDOC. $9.
Elon, I've been frustrated with ASTS as well because this thing just keeps on ripping, and I've been wanting to get in, pick up more of this. It is at an interesting spot right now where we've had some previous highs going back to August of 22. The thing that this is ripping on, because it's been in the news, is that they are planning to launch the cluster satellites next month in August. I don't have an exact day when that launches, but that's what the plan is, that they're going to be sending those up, and that's going to benefit their customers at Verizon and AT&T, as they'll have more coverage in rural areas. So this is a super interesting one. Maybe there's more of an options play at this point, but if that launch is successful, this thing will probably end up going into the 20s.
Vktx here going for that 64 spot.
Yeah. Gosh, this daily chart looks like it's going to go back up to 100.
ServiceNow continuing to push higher. And the trade desk. Remember, we were trading that for a potential move above 100. This got slammed on earnings. Did this go down to the 100-day? Let's see.
Oh, no. Is AZTR back again?
AZTR?
Or maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
That was the one that had the offering, right? That got smoked? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. No,
AZTR. No, you got it right.
Okay, so this one's, it's got a little bit of a pop this morning. It's getting some movement. Because, okay, so we had the offering, so that's out of the way. So I guess it's time to get back to trading this then.
Serve's daily chart actually looks pretty interesting if that can continue to maybe curl here. The trade desk. Yeah, so here we go. This is what I was looking at. This went right to its 100-day and is trying to bounce. Be interested maybe on another test of 100, which is going to be this top side resistance here. I guess it's 102 now. Look for a move through 100 here, especially if this can recapture the VWAP. This is one of those bounce back days you were talking about. I can't remember what stock you were talking about that maybe having a bounce back day, but the trade desk seems to be doing that here today. Nice looking intraday chart here on TTD.
Cmax is open. It's above its VWAP, and it looks like it wants to go higher. And it is. Well, it had a pop at least. 538 is the pre-market high in Cmax. I'd be viewing that as an upside target, provided it can hold its VWAP. It is whipping. Whoosh.
Lion Atlas adding AMD. You think the tech move down is over? AMD here 142. What's your thesis there, Lion? But imagine that you'd have a little bit more runway. If that continues to sell off, you'd be thinking about adding a little bit more to your position. We are almost entering oversold territory here on AMD. Let me know what you think about that one. I could actually see this coming in a little bit more.
Let's see. I'll take a look at AMD. They got earnings in 5 days. 133 to 135 seems a bit interesting.
Yeah, that was where I just had my cursor. That's right in here. Former support back from the end of 2023.
And that's
So-
also, it has already provided support once in this year in January.
So Lion here saying AMD has earnings in a few days, 5 days from now. So is this an earnings play, Lion? You're looking for maybe a pop here on earnings?
It could be a good one. I mean, sometimes, with CMG obviously being an outlier, sometimes when stocks sell off into earnings, they end up getting a pop the day after, if they have a good report. So maybe that's something to watch for with AMD, is that it just sells off into the earnings, and then once they have earnings, it turns around. It's also, like you said, oversold too. So that's, it kind of lines up a little bit, but it's not a guarantee that that's exactly what's going to happen.
CMG, by the way, in the same boat here, right? Oversold now on the daily chart. Actually, it did lose 50 here, and it's reclaimed it. Be interesting to see if it can go a little bit higher here. Vktx, man. I should have bought that one here this morning. Vktx ripped through that 64 level that you were initially calling for. It's actually went above yesterday's after-hour highs.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the daily chart is looking really good to me. I think at the very least 80 seems likely. We're at a bit of a we already talked about the 63 level.
Yeah.
Just making our way through some consolidation from May and June, and then after that, we could probably end up starting to see that real big movement up to 80. 80 would be the next level I'd want to see get up to.
We are at the 100-day. We are testing it right now.
Wow. Ford with even more selling than yesterday.
Yeah, that's wild. Ford got destroyed yesterday, and look at that. So what were our targets there? $6. Oh, Tim. Yeah, one of the guys from one of the guys from the happy hour gonna load Ford up when it gets to 6. Did that last time. Bought at 6, sold at 13 or whatever. Pretty good trade there.
Yeah, we just gotta wait. It looks like it's coming down
Rough.
to a previous support level I had drawn here.
This was our channel. We had a channel for the longest time on here. I can redraw it. And it's coming down to your point there, 13. It's coming down to the bottom end of that channel. Here, this is what we had on here before. And look at that. We're right down there at the bottom.
ASTS. I mean, I wish I had more, but they have news, and it's moving. They announced that they had the first 5 commercial satellites completed for final assembly and ready for shipment the first week of August. So that the August launch looking a little bit more likely.
Ford, see where this settles here on Ford. Ashvin, hello, long time. Hope you and family are well, my man. Hope you are well.
Yeah, Crow, but does it really know you? It has information about you.
Yeah, no, Crow.
Really,
I don't buy that, Crow. I don't buy that, Crow. There's got to be some human out there that knows you better than stupid Google.
I bet your doctor knows you much better than Google.
I don't know about that.
I'm just,
I am well, Ashvin. I am well. Still breathing, man. Anytime I'm above ground, we're in good shape. Bryce wants to take a look at Open Door. Actually, didn't our real estate person say that she kind of likes all of these once rates start moving lower? Open, Zillow. She's moving kind of away from the builders, right? Am I getting that right? Gotta be.
I think so.
Yeah, it's gotta
the
be.
builders. She was saying how the builders weren't probably going to be, making as many homes if more inventory is going to be coming on the market as rates drop.
Yeah.
So they don't want that, have to be building when there's competition, as she was saying, because they don't want to have homes sitting there not getting sold.
Right.
So they're going to build less, and they're probably just going to, sit on or look at other lots to expand on. But for the time being, they're not going to be building homes like they have been, because they were the ones setting the prices of the market.
And so some of the positives on the other end of that were things like Open, Zillow, and then I believe also the mortgage companies, right? Like Rocket, UWMC were the other ones that she added into there because there's going to be more of that stuff. Okay.
Look at UWMC today. It got beat up a little bit yesterday, and now it's turned around and it's doing better. Still very, Freddie movement. Oh, hi.
Hi. Forgot that you were there. We were trying to make sure that we were quoting you correctly. How convenient that you are actually here to tell us what you said is in fact correct. Good morning, Felicia. Hope you are well.
POAI getting mentioned here went up to 250 again, and guess what happened?
So that 250 spot that we had flagged from this morning, kind of a big deal. That's what I'm getting.
It's kind of, yeah.
Look at the pull. Look at the pull now. Get out of the way. That thing just yanked like crazy.
Yeah. So that's definitely a level we had pegged, isn't it?
Here we go. Giving us the list. Thank you, Felicia. Always there to get it for us. Zillow, Open Door, Redfin, UWMC, Rocket, all good for resale. Redfin, RDFN, right? Ticker RDFN. Good morning, Felicia. Coming to bail us out. Make sure we're not giving out bad info.
Now, Felicia, remember we were talking about how the Florida real estate market is seeing a ton of foreclosures, and that companies are buying up those homes, those foreclosures. Any of those that you just listed there happen to be buying up those foreclosures?
Ooh.
Do you know of? I'd be interested to know.
That's a good question.
All right, let's see what's going on here with the trading.
POAI is trying to hold this VWAP level after that gigantic pullback.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll through the broader market. We haven't done that yet here. SPY, lows. Oh my. QQQ, lows. Boy. So what do we talk about? Maybe a little bit of I guess it didn't even really move up. Never mind. We just moved down. I know it popped a little bit there in the pre-market. SPY did. More lows are coming, folks.
Yeah, we're already trading down out of the channel, and we're about to enter the gap zone. I don't know why I said it that way, but I made it sound all...
Sometimes it just happens, right? Sometimes it just happens.
That gap starts at 539.59, and it finishes at 537.01.
537, yeah. So is that what we think here? We got a gap fill down to 537 on SPY. That's what we're looking at.
Oh, I'm definitely looking at that.
Okay, and then it looks like Dustin here going to take calls on that gap down if that's what happens. Okay, IWM here. How are we doing? I love seeing this. This is the relationship that we wanted to see. Q's down, small caps up. Let's go.
This looks like it's setting up to go.
Let's go.
Break 225. Now, for me, the IWM, I know that we could get a little bit of this back and forth, but for me, I think that the IWM is going to spend some time chopping around in this channel that was put in from 2021, and I have that at from 205 to 235. So breaking through 225 and going to 235 is what I'm anticipating here. Not sure on the time horizon on that, but that's just what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a break of 225, taking up to 235, and then coming back in down to as low as 205.
Okay, VIX here holding in an 1830 handle. Apple lows, Amazon lows, Netflix lows. Tesla reversed from the highs, but still green here by 1.5%. How about NVIDIA? How are we doing on NVIDIA? Chipotle, by the way, holding right around 50, so not really forcing us to trade it at the moment. NVIDIA at the lows. Paige asking, how low will AMZN go?
Amazon.
That's a good question here. Let's take a look on the bigger chart. See if we can figure it out. Amazon.
Well,
this is another one that I'd be interested in adding on weakness. Sorry, 13. I've cut you off twice. Go ahead.
That's okay. Well, first stop that's interesting is going to be the 200-day SMA, and where that is currently is where this floating island, currently drops off. So we lose a 200-day SMA. We're filling the gap to the downside, and that might be a pretty good pullback area or area where it stops the selling. Let me see exactly just how much off the highs that is. that would be almost 20% off the highs. So to me, getting down to 160 would be, it seems to me like that would be a buying opportunity.
Okay. So this is interesting because the top end of that gap that you're talking about filling here is right where the 200-day is.
Right.
Same deal, though. If there's momentum driving the stock down and we punch through that, it could very, very easily fill that gap just like you outlined and then recapture that 200. That would be a primo long setup if we get that.
Yeah. Now, it bears worth mentioning that I've been kind of following how POA, by the way, trying 250 again. I've been mentioning for a while and following when Jeff Bezos sells his shares because we were looking at that back in 2021.
Yeah.
And then we saw what happened the following year. The whole market just rolled over, Amazon included, and it went down 55%. So he's been selling this year as well. He was selling his last tranche at over 200. Then he was also selling earlier this year in late January, early February. So I think that this, is a signal that we're going to see Amazon go lower. I don't know that it's going to go 55% lower, but I'd definitely say that 20% is something that I'd be considering at the very least. That it could end up doing that.
Jane saying Amazon should give stockholders free Prime membership. Look, I wouldn't complain, but I think that would cut into their margins a little. Jane saying Wendy's used to give stockholders coupons for burgers. I actually didn't know that.
Bullfrog, BFRG, AI driven.
BFRG?
Yeah. Oh, and POAI is trying 250. It might actually get it this time, and it is.
Oh, dude, that's halted to the upside. That blew through 250. All right.
It's still not halted. It's not halted yet, but
nope, it didn't hold it there. I'm getting.
All right, here comes 350. Looks like we're going to try for 350 in this one now.
Ryan, that was like 30 years ago. That's the Wendy's. Okay, well, no wonder I didn't know. I don't think I was even thinking about stock at that point yet.
And then I saw Elon earlier mentioning.
Love to see a pullback there here on POAI if you think it's really going to 350. Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, I think Elon might have a point here about gosh, what he was just saying. I was just thinking. Hold on a second. Let me look.
Yeah, I was going to say all tech's still falling, but value like Bank of America, Nike, and T all up. Yeah,
value. It's looking like a value day, or at least some rotation into value, and that's what we were anticipating would happen with the tech sell-off. Is that some of these value names that pay dividends are going to get more popular in light of rate cuts. So, since your bank isn't going to be giving you a high yield interest in the future, suddenly the dividend yields are looking a lot better.
Rick, great job. You got it. And look where it's pulling back to. Excellent job. Excellent job.
Yeah, Robert, IBM might make 200. That'd be great. I mean, we were talking about IBM yesterday, and what did we want to see if we see that break of 200? 270?
Oh, man. That was from a 3-month chart, each candle being 3 months long. Yeah, 279, I think, was that number. Wild.
So, and this is great too, because IBM is breaking out of a symmetrical triangle formation that has been putting in since the beginning of the year. So we broke out of the top of the trend. I want to see it get up to 200 and take that out. And then once that does, then we can start talking about how high it goes. And we've already been looking at 270 as a potential top. So.
IWM, that dip got bought here. And speaking of the dip getting bought, look at Vktx. Came right back down to the VWAP and bounced off of it. That was nice.
POAI.
Mm-hmm.
I had to delay that last letter for effect. It looks like it got as high as 296. Still wants to go higher. I think this would be the last 5-minute candle before I think the next one would be red. 3 candles up and then a red one. So we'll see if that's what we get. Might even get a red one earlier, but still think we could see 350 if this momentum continues. Man, market or the broader market, the SPY really coming down and filling that gap now.
Here's your SPY still at the lows.
536.90. It's what I'm looking for. Oh boy. Would PayPal be considered value given the low PE? Well, I mean, if they pay a dividend,
it's 13.5 that PE on PayPal. So he's right about that. That does seem pretty low for what it used to be. I don't think they pay a dividend though.
They do not.
Yeah.
So no, this would probably be more of a growth stock.
Purgatory Park says, Ryan, nice call on the rug pull today. Thank you, dude. It just felt like that. It just felt like that's what was kind of setting up here in the pre-market. And that kept me tentative on some of the other trades here. Stay focused. Good morning. Great to see you. Stay focused. This just wanted to test 50. CMG basically just broke through 50, tested that 40 handle. Now, so far, we're holding out here. I haven't seen buyers really kind of fall or flow back into this yet. Let me know what you're seeing, though.
Current daily candle doesn't look too bad. Looks like it might try to at least go back up to the 200, but I still maintain that mid 40s looks like a better valuation for the company.
May I light your cigar? As a matter of fact, you may. As long as you use one of those fancy jet lighters and make it all cool, hell yeah, you can. I've actually never had someone say that to me. That's rather entertaining.
You know, we haven't talked about it yet, but you know, I've been seeing people say Nike's looking pretty good. So
let's do it right now.
Take a quick.
Let's do it right now.
So you know,
SPY more lows. Sorry.
Nice. On the daily chart, Nike's looking, you know, doesn't look like it has made too many big moves, but you go down to smaller time frames, you can see what they're talking about. How pretty much out of the gate it dropped, and then it's turned around and is making new highs intraday. So 72 is where it's at right now. The high from yesterday was 73.40. What's up?
Amazon, Apple, Netflix, new lows all at the same time. Bitcoin pounding lows as well. We've got a 19 print on the VIX. We were talking yesterday in happy hour about that maybe getting above 20.
I wanted
maybe
20.
Holding there. You wanted 20. And I think the other stat, 13, correct me if I'm wrong, but the other stat was that we occasionally get it above 40. And we really kind of haven't seen that yet. Thought is that maybe that's where one of the next levels there are, or high levels will be on the VIX. Sorry.
So I remember that, and I don't necessarily disagree with getting to 40, but for me, because you know this has a pattern of repeating, and I think that we could see 40 this year, but something that is going to need to happen that hasn't happened yet, and I don't know what it is, but something's going to drive it up to 40, and I don't think what we currently know right now with the current environment that we're in, with all the information that we know of what's going to happen, I don't think any of that is going to take us to 40. What would take us to 40 would be something like maybe Biden resigning or China invading Taiwan or something to that effect. You know, it'd have to be a very serious macro event in order to take us to 40. That's my opinion on it, though. So we could still probably just get to 40 based on what we already have going for us. But I think there needs to be a much bigger macro event to get up there.
Okay. We'll see if we get it. I roll through some of these smaller stocks that you folks are actively trading. There's Lumen, POAI, up there near that 3 handle.
Amazing. Well, let's see here with POAI. It's been trying to get to 3 now for the past 15 minutes, and I don't like the way these upper shadows look. So I would think that POAI might have another date with its VWAP.
I think at this point, day trades should have been paid already, whether just paying yourself on the way back up or taking some of these gains off. We've seen too much reverse. Here it comes, 13.
I was just reading something. Easy Mike saying the USD yen trade is unwinding. That's a start. Yeah, I saw that too, and also I'm sure you saw it as well, Easy Mike. China had also cut another interest rate, the second interest rate cut in the same week. Now they have
things getting bad there.
things are bad there. This is. I mean, they're expecting some really bad times if they're cutting this aggressively, or they're already in them.
Sorry, let me just handle something for work here real quick.
No worries.
I'll switch to whatever chart you guys need, but I figured POAI was going to be the big one right now.
Man, the broader market is just really
and Felicia, I so appreciate you repeating parts of your report from yesterday. All of this, Felicia gave an incredibly detailed report on all of this stuff yesterday, filling in some of the blanks there. Really, really appreciate that. CrowdStrike also to the lows, by the way. Chipotle has rolled over. Look out.
Yeah, I agree. Stay focused. Their GDP is just their GDP to debt ratio is just astronomical. Easy, Mike. When you're looking at the Bank of Japan decision, are you expecting them to cut, or what is your expectation with BOJ's Bank of Japan's decision, if you wouldn't mind? And yeah, POA still hasn't broken down, but it's really not pushing up either. Kind of just figuring out which direction it's going to go. MLGO, on the other hand, that has already decided it wants to go higher.
POAI looks like it's trying to curl here. 279, 280. It's got size there. If that goes, maybe highs are in play here. We'll see if it's got the strength for that. Which was the other one? MLGO? So here, hang on. See if we stop right here. They actually brought in a little bit of size there too. See if they get rejected right here. POAI right here. I think if we go through this, we probably challenge those highs. Rejection, maybe another VWAP test as 13 was calling for. And they're taking it. Do we get to take it and pull down to the VWAP? That would be the third stock to do that. Actually, I guess this wasn't a new high, so technically it wouldn't be.
If it does break out over $3, then I'll be surprised. But to me, this weakness is kind of evident. I don't know that they've got the volume or the strength to move this up more. But let's see. I was looking at Meera, and it's down at that level that I think I said 270 or 260, something like that. It got down there, and if it doesn't turn around here, then this one's done. This is pretty much what I was expecting from Meera anyway. That news was just, like I said, it was just an add-on piece to what it already moved on. So,
CMG Chicago Realtor. I got a couple of Chicago Realtor friends saying CMG here. Crazy. It was up big yesterday. This thing printed 60s, I believe, in the after hours after that report, and now rolling over here. And that report was a pretty decent report. Top and bottom line beat here. I think one of the things, we might be at peak earnings. We might be at peak earnings for some of these stocks, and you don't want to own stocks at peak earnings. So I think we're getting a little bit of reversal here. At some point, Chipotle will turn around, but we got to flush these sellers out. We got to exhaust them all.
Looks like the SPY is trying to put in a relief candle. Trying to take that up. If SPY comes back up, it trades back up, I'm not sure that it gets back over 540. I think we might run into a little bit more resistance prior to that. Down.
I mean, if this is anything like yesterday, this thing's not even getting above its VWAP. All we did was take the staircase down. Even at the one point we tried to bounce, it lasted for 5 minutes. So we'll know pretty quickly if we're going to have a repeat of yesterday here with SPY. You can watch that VWAP for that too.
MLGO with MLGO with a little bit of a pull. Vktx looks like it's trying to resolve its bull flag on the 5 minute. Currently above VWAP. It's moving a little bit slow, so I'd say be a little cautious until volume picks up. But it looks like it's trying to resolve this bull flag and go back up to 65.
Smoke Tuna looking for Chipotle support around 46.50. 13, that pretty much reminds me of your mid 46 handle. Mid 40s, I think is what you were saying.
Yep.
You guys are all right there.
Yeah.
So Tom, so good question here. So you're asking about that JMIA trade that we talked about, the calls that got swept up that went 100% in a day. It rarely works like that, but it went 100% in a day. Booked some of those gains. Yeah, stopped out on the rest of them. Here's the thing. So when I was first looking at those calls were 70 cents a piece. There is even more open interest in that strike. I think as long as you booked gains on the first leg of that trade, you could add back a couple down here, maybe even go with the 17 or the 16, but make sure that when you're doing this, whatever profit you made off that first trade, because we were rewarded 120% or whatever the move was in intraday, make sure that you're still keeping some of those profits in your portfolio. So if you're gonna buy some of this back for just kind of capturing that earnings print off that sweep, totally get it. Use a smaller amount so that this is, even if that gets obliterated, you're still in the black on that trade.
David Lynn, yes, I was talking about it earlier this morning. Was trying to wait for some decent, corrective or pullback move so I could get a little bit more, but it is just taken off, literally. They are supposed to be launching their satellites into space for Verizon and AT&T next month. So this is kind of running up into that. That'll be a sell the news event at this rate with the way it's running up.
Smoke Tuna thinks Cmax might pop here, a little spread. Maybe it'll pop back to the VWAP. We shall see. So that little relief bounce that you were talking about in the SPY 13 happening in Amazon, Apple. Looks like Netflix is trying but can't get it rolling. Bitcoin bounce back a little bit there. Okay.
Oh, well, it looks like SPY kind of went where I was thinking it would go. It could turn around here. Because I was saying it's not going to, I don't think it'll get back up to 540. It got as high as, what is this? 539.39.
Chris mentioning that Microsoft hit support. Microsoft stopped selling off here 419. We're actually beneath the 100-day on there as well. You know what? Let me actually see if I can. I'm going to change this 100-day to the 200-day.
Well, POAI doing what we were talking about. It. Those upper shadows, those wicks, they weren't looking. What did Mitch say? Wicks could be tricks. These are clear as day. You don't. As soon as you started putting those in, it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of weakness up there. So this is expected. Now it's at VWAP. Maybe it gets some support there.
I think this is a little weak here.
Yeah, it could be. Vktx, on the other hand, it's shooting for 65. I think this is going to bull flag resolution.
Another bounce right off that VWAP. This is exactly where we bounced to the first time here.
Hello. You guys.
Oh, here we go. Let's get it. Lursland and Randy, you know that joke comes out every day.
Every day.
You know that's coming here. You know it's coming, 13. Just get ready for it. Just accept it.
I already have accepted it. But, it's just, I want to trade this, but not until I'm going to have a plan for this. And it's going to be closer to September when I
have a plan for this. Let's go.
And it's going to be closer to September when I decide to risk, because it's
tell me, you know what? Tell me about that. I'm going to trade that with you, and I'm going to do it in my main account too, because that's one that
it's risky, because I'm just going on a pattern that it's been showing me since 22, where in September and January or February of every year, it has these really big rallies, and then it comes right back into where it started from. So it's pretty consistent so far. So I'm just going to take a gamble next month and at some point and just pick up a bunch of shares, totally expecting to lose all my money, and just see it's a lottery ticket play. So I'm just going to see if there's any, if this pattern holds, and if it does, I'll be rewarded. And if not, then okay, well, I'll lose what I gambled with. But this is a gamble. This is not something I'd even suggest people do unless they are willing to lose everything. But I think because of how consistent this pattern's been, I'd take a little gamble at it.
IWM looks like it might be going to some new highs here. Let's see, what else do we miss here? Tom, got it. Thanks, Benzinga. Live in the morning is great therapy for me. I'm actually going to screenshot this comment and I'm going to say how great this feedback is and give it to our team. Thank you, Tom. We'll take that without a doubt. So stay focused, menting serve printing. Now, we did talk about that a little bit here. Were you short serve? Stay focused? I can't remember what your trade plan was here on serve. This thing choppy, though, moves in both directions here today.
MLGO getting mentioned. It's getting some recovery here, trying to go over 219, which is the intraday high.
Chewy getting mentioned here by Glenn. Glenn, there we go on Chewy. Interesting. Chipotle chopping around here intraday. Love to see that too. Oh, okay. So you're not trading this. Sorry, stay focused. Sorry.
Line Atlas liking AMD.
United Health Service, Universal Health Services. This is on the relative volume scanner. AVTR, the green side on the relative volume scanner.
Line Atlas, tell me if you would, for AMD, are you eyeing 133 as an entry, or what do you have? What is your interest in AMD for going long?
AMD did bounce off 137 here today. Smoke Tuna still on Cmax here.
Well, don't look now, or go ahead and look. Vktx. There it is. There's the resolution.
There it is.
Who's trading Vktx?
Yeah, I wish I was. I wish this was the one that I was on today. Another blown call here, unfortunately.
Now, Vktx, this is really going. So there might be a halt if this really gets wild here. It's up at 66 now and just popped above it, looked like. No, right at 66.
Spread a little bit here too, VKTX.
Looking, okay, you went long. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Elon. Elon went long at 138.5. There we go, VKTX. It's moving now. And spreading this is helping it.
Really good ratings on this stock as well still. VKTX.
Bloomz, the IPO.
I'll tell you what. VKTX going all the way back to that initial move here. Jay Rice. Going to give him a big shout out when he gets back. He was all over this one from the beginning. Just an absolutely masterful call. And now it looks like we're going to get another setup and opportunity on it. That was good. That was good.
You can taste it, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm going back. I'm like thinking about all of this, and I'm like, man, and I missed the first one on VKTX, although I did end up trading that for some gains the second time around. But I'm trying to think about some of the other things that he's done, like Lantheus. Like there are so many calls that are early we could take advantage of. And I'm just thinking about how we can try and do them. By the way, Tom, JMIA off the bottom since we talked about it. Just saying. Just saying. I got a couple of things turning. Interesting. Okay.
I'd really like to see the XLU.
I can bring that up here real quick.
I mean, it's kind of breaking out of a falling broadening wedge, but it came back in a little bit intraday. I'd like to see this get up to 72. That'd be great. I'm not in the XLU. I'm actually holding a different ETF called the IDU. Reason being is that they one of their holdings is waste management, and I wanted to have exposure to that company. XLU doesn't have that.
Tom, you're saying, oh, wait, Fast Money has said it will get bought. Are you talking about, what stock are you talking about?
I think Vktx.
And then he mentioned American Airlines here, which they reported poor earnings, didn't they? Although they're turning around here, they did, and they traded lower on those earnings. But now here we go.
You know what I saw?
Yeah.
You know what I saw that was interesting about Southwest is that after 50 years, they're going to stop with their how they do their boarding, and they're going to do assigned seats.
Okay.
Because the thought here is that they want to try to sell higher price tickets for more premium seating. So there's going to be different. There's going to be like an economy class, and I guess they're going to try to push for first class maybe. But that's the whole purpose behind what they're doing there is they want to try to increase their margins by offering higher price tickets for more premium seating.
They're basically going to do what every other airline does.
Exactly.
We call that capitulation in the biz.
If they're looking to grow, man, MLGO is making new highs. If they want to grow, that's something that they're going to have to do with it.
Yeah. MLGO up near the highs here. I'm okay passing on this one. CrowdStrike, this moved back towards the VWAP. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of really kind of strong opinions on CrowdStrike on FinTwit. A lot of people calling for this thing to maybe not only get cut in half again, but maybe even have all types of legal trouble. So I don't long-term hold on CrowdStrike. I'm not too sure. Haven't been great on day trading it recently.
I think it'll.
I flew on Southwest 2 days ago. That was chaos. Nice planes though, man.
I think. Gosh, CrowdStrike.
Yeah,
they might have some legal trouble. I know that before Congress, they're going to probably get super hammered. You already saw what happened. You already saw what happened with the Cheadle, the FBI, not FBI, the Secret Service director. She got absolutely pummeled in Congress.
She got everything that she deserved.
Everything.
With all due respect, she should have been fired.
CrowdStrike's going to get the same thing.
Yeah. The thing about CrowdStrike is that I think that there might be like a secondary. Investigation might be the wrong word, but they might uncover some more things about CrowdStrike, and that's to me really where the worry is. Right, the initial thing that's kind of already happened. We're a bit past that, but the stuff that they find when they start digging into what's going on here could really, really spell a disaster for CrowdStrike. So.
ASTS. I mean, we're getting another.
Did you see? I wasn't on this one. I don't feel like I missed this one because I wasn't on this one. But I know that you're into those space stocks here.
I've been talking about this one for a while, and they are unless the plans change, they're launching next month, and I think that's going to end up doing well, not just for this company, but for also Verizon and AT&T, since their coverage is expected to expand. And that means more subscriber growth and paying customers.
Yeah. So Bryce saying I think you meant Cisco. I'm not sure. Anyway, CrowdStrike is a huge failure. The thing that could happen is the government makes it so industries too big to fail can't use the same type of system. If the government was smart, they would do that. Not following. However, I doubt our government. Never mind. Now I'm following. Price.
Well, I mean, you talk to anybody who's in coding and that has customers that they have to release updates to. They'll tell you that doing it on a Friday should never happen, especially with a company like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things that was interesting is when I was talking to some folks, they were saying guaranteed some new person came in, some new director, and said, "Oh, let's push this out on Friday." And all the developers were, pushing back against that, saying that's a really bad idea. We can't do that. And but they just went ahead with it just to prove him wrong because he's the one who's calling the shots. And here you have it. A lot of developers that I talked to been kind of thinking that's what happened.
Wasn't it the same day that Kaspersky is no longer allowed in the United States? That seems just too coincidental to not be related. But that's my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. They've been working so well recently that I might as well keep that going. Chris says, yes, that was the same day, right, Chris? Yes, born. Yep. See? Yep. I thought so. How's Chipotle doing? We're still kind of I actually like this, right? I kind of like we had the earnings reaction. Now we're just kind of let's let this kind of shake out for a little bit. I feel a lot better, especially if we recapture that 200-day from where we're at here. Got that this isn't split adjusted here in Trade the Pool. 52.46. Let's call it 52 and a half. That would be the reclaim of the 200-day. Would love to see that. Maybe let's see. Tomorrow's Friday. Maybe tomorrow or Monday. If we saw that, I'd probably long that prior to the close.
For me, I'm going to need to see today. I'm going to need to see the price get through 51 to 51.50. That seems to be where there's going to be some trouble for the stock intraday. And if it can do that, then things might turn around. But I think that's going to be the big level that they have to recapture.
X curve popping here. X curve popping. This is a penny stock. It's just absolutely ripping. I don't know if there's news. Let me check. I don't know what's going on with this name. Just kind of seeing it rip right here. I don't have any news for this. I'll check the Twitter streets for you in a sec here. X curve penny stock ripping to the highs. It is not halted. Okay. Stay focused saying, Ryan, CMG may be a better short tomorrow or Monday. Well, that's what we're going to know, right? That's what I'm saying. That's kind of why I want to see it just kind of trade sideways here and then see what the next move is. At this point, I suppose I wouldn't even be shocked if it was a move down. 13 gave us a nice, we were looking at the PE earlier, gave us a nice little price range, mid 40s. So could definitely see that happening, but I kind of just want to see it trade around a little bit and consolidate, maybe coil up even. Crowd is still the best cyber security company. I wonder if that'll be changing.
Well, what other companies have had huge issues?
Amanda, I didn't realize this. I agree. As a user, as a crowd owner, it's going to be a few months. Insurance is going to start requiring businesses to invest more in their security to keep coverage. Here's my big deal with cybersecurity. These stocks, they're hard. This is another thing that we've really got from the happy hour. They're hard to trade. You can have the greatest product in the world, and then one day your patch is not great, and bang, what happens. It's a tough segment to trade in. I'm sorry, 13, I ran you over.
Or they break the cardinal rules. Because it just seems like there was a lot of just bad decisions being made. It was more than just a bad patch. There was some bad decisions being made that day. So I think it's more of a personnel issue with CrowdStrike. Because computers didn't decide to release that. Humans did. SLRX. Were we getting that mentioned earlier? I thought I saw that. SLRX.
Sorry, I got distracted there. What was that?
Did you happen to see if, because I thought I saw it earlier on the chat, SLRX?
Yes, multiple times. In fact, okay. I think this was a Jay Wild call from the day before yesterday. Initially, I might be getting that wrong there. Big rip out of the open here on that, though.
Yeah, this looks like it's trying to go back to VWAP, maybe even recapture 4. So we'll have to see if that's what it's doing right now. Was there news on this?
Yeah, Bryce, I appreciate that offer, man. I'll tell you, look, one of the happy hour was basically built off taking everyone's expertise and then sharing information with one another. You're welcome to share any of your expertise anytime. Chicago Realtor, love this room, Ryan and 13. Do you guys stream all day? Unfortunately, we don't. Our show is every day from 9 to 11. We don't stream every day. We don't have the audience, the likes, and the support for that yet. You can help by going ahead and smashing that like and subscribe button. But love to hear that you like it. I'm always interested in feedback on how we can better serve you. So keep that in mind too. And we hope to see you around on a regular basis. Ryan, are you in Chicago? Yes, not actually in the city. I am a suburb guy. And actually, I'm more of a rural area guy. I'm trying to go out to the country away from the crazies. But that's neither here nor there. I am in the Chicagoland region, yes.
Yeah. And thanks, Amanda. It is personnel. It's outsourcing, but it's impossible industry to keep up on patch zero day thing with how fast hackers are evolving. Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's exactly the thesis on why some of these cybersecurity stocks are actually difficult to trade. That is spot on.
Yeah, you got
rural is the best. You got that right, Jane. Let me get some animals and some area to grow my own food. Get away from the crazies.
Less traffic noise.
Less traffic noise. Maybe a personal gun range.
Yeah, that's that would be ideal. It's just you have to really find the areas that allow that.
Oh yeah.
City limits and all.
Oh yeah.
But that is the dream, just to be able to wake up, have breakfast, go out, pop up a few rounds, and then go about your day.
Go about your day. Work out, take care of the animals. I could get used to that. Brittany, you guys are awesome. So much better than any other live shows out there. We try to do something a little bit different. Really appreciate comments like that. Definitely trying to get everyone involved here as well.
Look at Amanda Gibbons. She's got a range and an axe throwing alley. So she's got bullets and blades. Love it.
Oh my gosh.
Put it on a t-shirt.
I was gonna say, Amanda, maybe shoot me an email. We should hang out sometime. Just saying. That's pretty awesome. Tennessee, no income tax. I've heard that.
Any opinion on Nike here? Eventually, over the long term, I think it does better. I don't
Jay Wild, the nearest town I live by has 50 people. Oh, so jelly. So jelly, Jay Wild.
But Nike, Morningstar, who I value their research and analysis highly.
Chris, you're in Rosemont. Sorry. 13. I told him that's so disrespectful.
You're excited though.
I am. He's saying he's in Rosemont. He's like a stone's throw from me. That's pretty awesome.
But Nike is eventually going to end up going over $100 in the future. But for a trade, in the short term, let's see here. I mean, I'm still expecting it to go lower. So as far as the downside targets, maybe 66, 67 would be a good spot for it to be bottoming out. But it'll turn this around. This is a wide moat. It's a good company.
Hollow creeping back up towards the highs there. Bryce, why can't you trade from anywhere? I can.
Man.
Tracy, you're probably exactly right on this one, Tracy. The best way to keep your area great is to not tell everyone how great it is. Amen to that. You are probably totally right. Cliff Dweller, pardon my ignorance. Oops, sorry, I highlighted the wrong comment. Or forgive my ignorance. What is VWAP? We were just saying yesterday how there is no such thing as a bad question. So no big deal, my man. We are happy to help you. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. And basically it is a measure. It's used intraday for support and resistance. The VWAP on the screen here is this little blue squiggly line. It's used to determine intraday support and resistance by looking at both the price change and the volume flow of a given equity. And it's used by traders the world over. Some traders, like in Thinkorswim, it actually has the VWAP calculation and then standard deviation bands both above and beneath it to give you an idea of a range. A lot you can do with VWAP. If you haven't tried it out, I suggest giving it a shot. I suggest reading some stuff about it. Definitely check out Brian Shannon. He's an ace with VWAP and then anchored VWAP, which is basically you just plug in an anchor spot. But that's exactly what it is. Please keep those questions coming. We are happy to help any way that we can.
And if you're looking to use VWAP, your trading platform should have the option to open up your indicators, and it should be in there either under the full name or the abbreviated name, and just start using it. See how price action works.
Yes, sir. Look at Chipotle. Chipotle's still doing its little chop around there. Still kind of coiling here. We'll wait this out. Got no rush on that one. Vktx. Who was this that was asking? Bob saying Vktx. Thoughts on getting in that right now, anyone? So here's my thing, Bob. The big deal for me is that I'm never trying to enter swing trades right after or near the top end after like a big candle, right? So I'd like to see Vktx maybe wait it out today, see if it pulls back, see if it kind of consolidates a little bit. If you just feel like, hey, this might just run, I would say just reduce your position size and start nibbling on it so that you can dollar cost average in the event that it does come in a little bit.
Yeah, and be mindful of the volume as well. You can see that since we've opened, it's been steadily declining, and we're getting closer to the lunch hour where a lot of trading ends up drying up. The volume just kind of goes away in most stocks. As we approach that, you're going to start to see breakouts not work. You're going to start to see rugs get pulled where the price drops suddenly. So be careful at these up here, just for your own protection. MACD is also looking like the price could move lower. So I don't know that up here is necessarily where I'd want to be getting into. That it is it looks like a pretty good support level, seeing as we kind of had an intraday top around there and the after hours top yesterday, right in the same area. But again, the volume is kind of telling you the story that there might not be enough buyers and sellers to help push this up more.
Glenn, love this. CMG, I love when you guys give your plans ahead of the fills. There's nothing better for the group here. And if you add context into why you're doing that, that's really aces. Glenn here saying CMG plan to buy the 0.618 fib level. That is $48.31. 13, I know you said maybe a mid 40s here, but a $48 first entry doesn't even really sound that bad. If it comes in a couple of points, you might be able to add dollar cost average. Then look for a return to the underside of the 200-day and the 0.5 FIBO level, which is at 52.31. Glenn, this is clearly drawn out here. Love that you shared it. Obviously a swing trade. Well, indeed, Glenn. I love that.
Yeah, it looks like that'll work out really good, especially with how much that CMG has come down. It's really oversold right now. I like the way that that setup sounds.
Mad Money here asking an interesting question because we've actually got the SPY to turn around here. So let's address this here. So SPY, we saw this really kind of selling off. We see it bounce right back to where it was before it left or before it started to leak there. Mad Money saying 13 and Ryan. 13 and Ryan, your thoughts on the SPY moving higher here, or is it still a repeat of yesterday? So first of all, we've already seen today that we have a stronger bounce, right? The buyers, let's say that the buyers have more teeth today than they did yesterday. So already I can eliminate today being a repeat of yesterday. Maybe we do sell off again, but yesterday was just straight down out of the open. And we had like a 5-10 minute bounce right around noon central, actually. So 1 p.m. And this is definitely different here today. Now to the second part of that, can this go higher? What's the catalyst driving it higher? I'd be willing to listen to that from the group here. What's the catalyst to drive the market higher? Just being oversold? 13, some of those levels that you had on the SPY on the downside, like we haven't hit those yet.
Well, we came within 55 cents of that 536 95% pullback level. So that was pretty close. I still think that we ultimately go lower. But like I said when we were talking about it this morning, because of how much of a down move we had, I'd expect there to be a little bit of recovery, and we are kind of getting that. Now, I still also said that I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more of the price action go sideways into that consolidation channel. We did get a drop out of that consolidation channel this morning, and now we're right back in it. The pre-market high is at about 542.15. So that's going to be the level I have my eye on to see if we go higher. We break above that level and start trading above it over half an hour or so, I'd feel more confident about reaching the top of that channel. But if we get rejected there, then we're probably headed back closer to 540.
Real good stuff there. I would say just the TLDR, Mad Money, I would say not today. I would say the day's different than yesterday, but I'm not sure how much juice to the upside we're actually going to get today.
Yeah, we could just end up going like sideways, maybe put in a neutral candle and then just continue to sell off some more tomorrow.
Bob, I'll be on the road tomorrow, so you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you Monday. Bob, promise me you enjoy your time off. Safe travels wherever you're going with you and family. We'll be here on Monday. We'll see you.
Yeah, Mad Money, I saw that the GDP being much higher than what was expected is helping out the SPY a little bit by not going too low. I'm not sure if that's going to change the whole rate cut sentiment that we've had since we've been getting some of these other reports. Tomorrow we have PCE, and that's the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Now, that might actually be the report that drives this lower, that helps pull this down some more. So we'll see if that's what happens.
And if we kind of hang out in a range today, that kind of tells us that maybe the market is kind of waiting that print out as well. Amanda saying, do we have any fun earnings calls tonight? So here, I can help you with that. Here you go. Here is the earnings calendar for today. So it looks like tonight you've got Dexcom, Skechers, Texas Roadhouse. That's a fun place to go. Not sure how fun the earnings are going to be. Deckers Brands. That stock's been on an absolute tear. That's Stay Focused. I think you've mentioned that one a few times. Appfolio, Digital Retail, and the Boston Beer Company. Now that Boston Beer Company, maybe that's going to be kind of a read on the consumer. Ticker SAM. Wonder.
As if there was a question I was asked
to
me yesterday, and I didn't have a great response to it, in my opinion. It was something about what happens. What do we do if some event happened? And I think my suggestion was, maybe people go back to the Mag 7 if I forget what the question was, but another thing that I guess it was like where do we go if things aren't that are working out, don't end up working out. I really wish I could remember the question. I'm sorry that I can't. But another thing to consider is that if we do enter a recession, people might end up going, and this is something that was brought up to me during happy hour as a reminder. People might go back to their vices. So cigarettes, alcohol, maybe even gambling,
weed stocks.
Yeah, weed stocks. Those could all end up being good in a recession too.
Rick, I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks going to the Mopar Nationals in August. How can I send pictures here? Okay, Rick, here's what you can do. I'm going to give you my work email address. You can send me any picture of any dope-ass car that you see anytime that you want. You don't even need permission for that. Go ahead and send it to my email. If you want me to share it with somebody, let me know, and I'll do that to the best of my ability. But any of you folks... you folks can always email me. And if you guys are talking about golf, guns, cars, animals, I mean, I probably want to see it. So
Lion Atlas, can I steal your name for Jim Cramer?
What is it?
It's Creamer.
Creamer. He calls him Creamer.
That's hilarious to me.
Jim Creamer. Oh man, I can't believe I've never heard that before.
That's great. I'm going to use that if I'm allowed to, with your permission. So you think the market got a fatigue mode for the last 2 weeks, and now that it is oversold, it's close to rebound? I mean, I think that today we're going to see a little bit of recovery, but
we have already, by the way.
I feel like this market needs more than just a 5% pullback. Like a 10% correction sounds better. So we we're barely halfway there. Maybe we see a little bit of recovery in the short term, and then we end up getting the rest of the correction. So we'll see what happens. But we're getting a lot of analysts saying that where the market's going to start to look weaker going into October, and then kind of like how it did last year from July to October, it just kind of steadily went down and corrected, and then on October hit, we took off. So we'll see if that's what happens. Gosh, ASTS, man. This thing does not want to get
What a move.
Entry. Yeah.
What a move.
And we were talking about this morning, man. This is, I really think that this gets over 20, that when that launch happens, sell. Sell. I think the launch is going to be a sell the news.
It's squeezing. It's just from 227 on May 21st or May 7, whatever day that was. Let me see. The chart keeps shifting on me here. May 16th, 227. Stock is 16 here today.
Bryce is running the show with ASTS. 80K. Oh yeah.
Let's go, Bryce. Let's go.
May I ask your entry, and so I can be even more impressed?
I just love the level of politeness that you approach that with. It's exactly the type of stuff that I want to see.
I thought today was going to be a little bit worse than what it's been. It's been pretty good.
I thought we were going to see kind of a extended move down, and it looks like we pretty much only got a head fake of that, or at least looking at the SPY here. My main account somehow is up. I'm doing great, actually. So yeah, no complaints at all.
He's in at 1434.
Who asked about the JMIA calls earlier? Those were 70-cent ask. They are an 85-cent bid right now. So whoever asked about those earlier, shout out for not taking it off your screen and watching it. This is now the second trade. Ask is $1 on those calls. They ask was 7. That's a 30% move already. More than that, actually. Who was that earlier? Who was the smart one earlier that asked me that? Because I didn't take any more. Was it Tom? I can't just keep guessing names, because then whoever it was is going to be like, it was me and you don't remember.
Well, have fun scrolling.
That's what I'm doing. I am scrolling right now.
Okay, so I'm just bringing up FSL on my screen because it was getting mentioned by Lynn. They're saying there was a squawk call. Don't see any news. And FSL, this company, man, this thing.
It was Tom.
This company loves to do offerings. Highly shorted. If it's moving on something, maybe there's some kind of hydrogen play or something that's happening with hydrogen that's driving this up that we're just not seeing on the news feed. But this is a hydrogen fuel cell, obviously, play. So if anybody knows anything that's going on with hydrogen, maybe that's why we're seeing this movement today.
So that VIX move up to 1930 has been melted. 1769 now. Apple's bounced. Amazon's bounced. Netflix has bounced. We already kind of took a look at SPY. So things kind of turning around here. Maybe this isn't going to be a big, nasty day all day anyway.
I'm still going to exercise caution because I think that's just what, they all want you to think. They want everybody to get all cozy. Oh, okay, we just bottomed here. We're bouncing. Everything's going to be good. Let's buy the dip. Who was it that was saying, don't buy this dip?
Andy?
Yep. Don't buy the dip. This. I think he might be right about this. This might be a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
That was an easy one.
So, PLTR coming back. That one had a nice little sell-off yesterday. So for this one, for Palantir, I think 2750 is going to be the price it may end up getting up to today. Now, if it goes through that, great. I feel like 2750 might provide a little bit of resistance stubbornly to it. I would like to see this come down to, closer to 20 or the 200 SMA on the daily chart. That would be I'd be interested in picking up more there. Lots of bouncing happening.
Yeah, indeed.
It's okay though.
I'm good with it. I'm good. Every time I look at my portfolio, I have more money in it. So that on days like that, tough to find complaints. Was worried here too because I didn't really see a whole lot to scalp and day trade.
Vktx.
I missed a couple of the things, frankly. Sorry, go ahead.
Vktx still kind of going sideways around that same price when we were asked if if this is a good buy area. This is kind of what we were worried about. Like we're not seeing this move back up to the highs. Give it time. If it holds this area here, it maybe, but MACD's starting to roll over. The volume's not looking great. I don't know that this is going to push up higher unless we get that volume to expand. Look at the volume. It just gets lower and lower every 5 minutes.
That's VKTX, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that is the compression. That's not the expansion that we want.
Mm-hmm.
AMD recovered. Now I understand, Atlas, why you were buying that down here. Looks like you were looking for a recovery here. SPY actually continuing to try and trade higher here. New highs on the SPY as we speak. Chipotle not participating in this as it continues to shake out here. This is why we wait, folks. This is why we wait.
It looks like that's going to lose.
Did Ford bounce back at all? Not really. Sorry, what was that level 13? I rolled you over there.
Looks like 4950 is going to be the last area of support before Chipotle goes lower. Looks like VKTX is trying to push up there. It's a little spready, but just be careful if you're going to trade this. I really don't like the way the volume looks. All right, what else do we have here? Disney trying to recapture 90.
Nice exit on that one when it broke beneath and was printing below 90. All right. We're almost done here, folks, for the day. Just kind of a look ahead till tomorrow, just to kind of prepare you folks. I know it's Friday, but we got a loaded show tomorrow, okay? We have a loaded show tomorrow. We're going to have a little pro product discussion on Benzinga Pro. We're going to have Tim Melvin, who wasn't able to join us on Wednesday. He'll be joining us on Friday. And then remember, right after live trading, we're going to have Anne-Marie back. Anne-Marie is fine, by the way. I know we missed Tuesday. She's totally fine. No big deal. We will have her tomorrow. So Melvin, Anne-Marie, and for those of you that are pro customers, we're going to have a tutorial on the Sensa Market Options tool in Benzinga Pro. So we're going to have a loaded day starting at 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, 13. I hope you're up for it. I know I am.
Yeah, I'll be awake.
I meant more than that. But in any case, Anne-Marie is off next week, though, so don't miss her tomorrow. Good piece of advice there. Is she off both those days? I can't remember. I think so.
Lots of recovery.
We'll get her tomorrow, though. And actually, we had some stocks we wanted to ask about, right? BRT, Disney. Those were two possible ones. So we'll come up with some more stocks to talk to Anne-Marie about. Okay, folks, it is 11 o'clock, 13. Really good job here today. Really good job here today. We are out here trying to figure out what's going on. But I can't thank everybody enough for joining us here today. Your participation, your ideas, the likes, the subscriptions, the support, the kind words, all of that is awesome. Any closing words for the group, 13?
Protect yourselves. It could be a little bit of a wild day. Look at KTX not working out. And hold hold on to those gains and take care of yourselves. Maybe even go touch grass. Have a wonderful rest of the day, folks.
Well said, 13. Take care, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Again, thanks for joining us. Benzinga Live.